What's up everyone and welcome back to Vlog O'Clock. Today we are talking the Promised Neverland Season 2 Episode 4. As you know, I'm not even gonna bother trying to do a non-spoiler review of this thing, so you've been warned. This episode does what I've been waiting, but we'll get to it. The episode picks up right where the last one left off, with Emma answering the phone. It's William Minerva, and he tells him his whole story of how his name's actually something else, and he used this persona to leave clues for the children to escape because he used to be associated with the farms and started to feel bad about it. He then goes on to say how, they caught on to what he was doing, and he can't be there with them now, but that they could live in this shelter, basically indefinitely. Or if they want to, they can take the pen, type future into it, and it'll show them the whole map, and they can figure out how to get to the human world. Now, meanwhile, it does cut back to the kids who were in the other room that had help written on the wall and all that. It never really explains what was going on in that room, which was kind of strange to me, but it's okay, a little mystery, let's bring it back up later is not bad. But anyways, so they go and talk about what they're gonna do. They decide that they're gonna stay there, build up kind of a foundation for living, and then start going to the other houses. First go back and get Phil and the others, then go to the other houses, help the other children escape, and bring them all back there to escape to the human world all together. Sounds like a great plan. One itty bitty problem. Meanwhile, the demons go and they're talking to this lady who's in a cell, and they're talking about how the children escaped, and kind of allude to that she has some sort of connection to the children, and that, they know where they are, they're going to get them. And she says they'll never catch them, and you're like, okay, so who's this person? Long story short, some people break into the shelter. Now this is where I think it got really good, because, up to this point, it was just showing the kids living and how they're kind of building the skills to survive, but it felt slow, even though the end of each episode had a good twist. It just never felt like it gave us that same kind of mystery and nonstop what's going on like the first season did. And so this episode really takes it up a notch. These people find the shelter, they blow open the hatch, and once they're inside, they start just searching for the children. They know they're there. The kids luckily hear the explosion go off. They get into like a hidden room. Meanwhile, Dawn and one of the other kids are in the security room, and you're like, okay, they're gonna capture Dawn and this other child, and they're gonna kind of use them to bait out the other kids. That's what you think is gonna happen. It is not. This show is crazy. It always seems to outdo itself. And just when you think, okay, these people are gonna get Dawn and this other kid, and they're gonna use them to kind of draw out the others, no. As soon as they break open the door to the security room, Don's standing there with his arms in the air, screaming to let him go, let him go. Meanwhile, the other child throws a mug at him as a distraction, then Don bashes a chair over his head. And not only do they get out, they're smart enough to take the radio with them. Now they go to where the other kids are. And you're like, okay, great. They're all in this room together. They'll be safe till they leave. But no, one of the guards sees them, not one of the guards, one of the people who were breaking in to capture them, sees them go into this hidden room. So okay, you're like, okay, they know they're in this hidden room, but they got this pretty good head start. Turns out there are two entrances to a shelter, and these people have tracked down other shelters because one of them cuts them off in the hidden tunnel and tells them how they know about the shelters, and they know about both entrances. So they ask how they know about both entrances, and he says, because all shelters have two entrances. This tells us a few things. One, these people have captured other people from shelters before. And two, was William Minerva actually trying to help them, or was this some sort of plot so that if any children managed to escape, they would know where they were going? I don't think that second one's likely, because why would they have the books there at all to guide them out? Unless it makes them even smarter, which makes their brains and their meat even more valuable. And it's like this weird twisted game of making them even better so that they can fetch an even higher price. I don't know, that's just a possible theory. If it turns out to be true, just remember you heard it here first, and I have no idea because I haven't read any of the manga. I'm only watching the anime. Back to the show. So the children have been running around in these caves playing, so they know where they are. After they take care of the person who's there to capture them, the hunter, I guess we can call him, one of the children yells to follow him because there's another entrance out, and they pop out this other entrance. You're like, okay, great. Now we're back on the run again, which is fine because it keeps a nice fast pace. They don't have a safe house, so they're constantly looking over their shoulder. So we're thinking, okay, this episode's gonna end with them on the run. It cuts back to the jail cell, and the lady who's in there has this connection to the kids, and they're trying to use her to kind of help capture them, but she doesn't want to. She's real reluctant. It seems like she's kind of ashamed of the part she's played in them being there. And so they bring one of those like flowers, and it seems like they're gonna kill her. And then it cuts back to the kids who have now, they've been captured by 4 more of these hunters. And just when you think, okay, this is it, they're captured, and the rest of the season is gonna be them trying to break free again. No. This show throws another twist, and this thing comes out of the forest and attacks the 4 hunters who are there. All the kids start to run away, and they start like fighting this big monster. Instead, as they're trying to run away, they shoot some arrows at it, try and distract it, as they're running away. And they hit it in like a weak spot, and like it kind of stumbles and smashes a claw down. And then it cuts back to the jail cell again, and they've worked out a deal with this lady who, if she helps them bring all the kids back, they'll let her go. They're gonna erase the number on her neck, take, I guess, some sort of device that's in her heart that keeps her from escaping, and some secret that we don't know. But they're gonna set her free. To which she agrees to help track down all the kids and capture them. The end of episode 4. This is very interesting for a few reasons. One, I thought this episode did a good job of picking up the pace very steadily throughout the episode to a pace that I kind of felt like this whole season was gonna be. So it was nice to have a few episodes that were slow paced. And it's also nice that the way this built up felt very natural and kept you kind of on the edge of your seat every time something new happened. That said, this lady, I want to know what they promised her in addition to letting her have her freedom. I want to know. And I feel like we'll find out as she starts to interact with the children and hunts them down. This show somehow manages to keep getting better. And not better because I think this episode was better than the last one per se, or better than last season per se. But it's managed to kind of keep this nice pacing and keep an interesting story. And I know part of that's because the manga is complete, so the anime knows the whole story. I do feel like the show just manages to keep introducing things at a nice pace that keeps you interested but not so overwhelmed with new information, where you feel like you're really with the children learning about what's going on in the world, but at the same time, since you're watching the show, you get to see kind of what's going on with the demons and with the farms. It's just a really good storytelling. That's all for me. Thanks for watching. Peace.